The first thing I remember from that night isn't the music or the laughter. It's the way Emily's hand slipped from mine. It wasn't deliberate, not obviously, but there was a flicker of hesitation in her touch. A second too long before she let go. The party lights cast a pink hue on her face, softening the expression that had once made me feel like home. Now, standing in that crowded living room, I realized how far from home I actually was. "Don't wait up for me if I stay late," she said with that teasing grin of hers, adjusting her silver dress, the one she'd bought just for fun. It shimmered under the chandelier, hugging her curves in a way that made my stomach twist with pride and fear. "Late." I tried to keep my tone casual. "We came together, remember?" She laughed, light, dismissive, like I'd told a joke no one needed to take seriously. "Relax, Mark. It's a party, not a contract." Her friend Ryan appeared at that exact moment. He was all charm and confidence, the kind of man who made small talk feel like seduction. They exchanged a look, quick, electric, charged enough to make my chest tighten. Then he clinked his glass against mine. "Take it easy, man. You've got a beautiful wife. You should be proud." I smiled, but it felt like my teeth were breaking. The night blurred into fragments, music pulsing, laughter spilling through the house, perfume and whiskey mixing into something thick and dizzying. Emily floated through it, all like she belonged to the light, not to me. Every time I caught her eyes across the room, she looked away too fast. I tried not to think too much. Tried not to notice that Ryan always seemed to be near her. Tried not to notice how she laughed differently around him. Lower, warmer. Like she'd found a part of herself that had been sleeping next to me for too long. Around midnight, I couldn't find her. The bathroom. Well, the kitchen. Empty, except for half-melted ice and forgotten drinks. The backyard. Just smoke and strangers. I texted her. "Where are you?" No reply. Minutes became hours. Guests started leaving. The host joked that Emily's probably the life of the after-party. And everyone laughed, everyone but me. By 2 a.m. I was sitting on the porch steps, the cold night air biting through my shirt. My phone buzzed once, finally. "I'm with Ryan." "We're fine. Go home. Go home." 2 words that rearranged something inside me. I wanted to believe it was innocent, that maybe she'd just had too much to drink, that he was driving her somewhere safe. But the message was too composed. Too clean. Like it had been rewritten a few times before hitting send. I drove home anyway, replaying the last few weeks in my head. Her sudden need for privacy, the new perfume, the late work meetings, the way she'd started sleeping with her back to me. All the puzzle pieces I'd refused to put together were now clicking into place, sharp and cruel. The house felt too quiet when I got there. I left the porch light on, pretending it was for her, though deep down I knew it wasn't. It was for me. A fragile hope, flickering against the truth that had already arrived. I didn't sleep. At 5:46 a.m., headlights swept across the living room wall. The door opened softly. She walked in barefoot, heels in her hand, makeup smudged, hair tangled but smiling faintly, like she'd just lived through something beautiful. She froze when she saw me on the couch. "Oh," she breathed, startled. "You're still up." I stared at her. I wanted to ask 1,000 questions, but all that came out was, "You smell like him." Her lips parted. "Mark, don't do this." "Do what?" My voice cracked, raw from the night. "Pretend I didn't just sit here wondering if you'd ever come back?" She dropped her heels. The sound echoed like a gunshot. "It wasn't supposed to happen," she whispered, looking anywhere but at me. "We just talked." One thing led to another. "Stop." I couldn't bear the cliché. The movie script excuses. "You left with him. You stayed gone all night. Do you even realize what that means?" Her eyes filled, but not with guilt. With something worse. Regret for being caught. "I don't love him," she said. I don't know if I love us anymore." That was it. The truth, quiet and lethal. I'd been clinging to something that had already died, mistaking its decay for warmth. We didn't fight. We didn't scream. We sat in silence until morning painted the room gold, turning her face into something distant and unrecognizable. When she finally went upstairs to pack a bag, I stayed still, staring at the empty glass she'd left on the table. I thought about how easily people disappear, not with doors slamming or hearts breaking loudly, but with tiny choices that add up to a goodbye you never saw coming. She paused in the doorway with her suitcase. "I didn't mean to hurt you," he nodded. "But you did anyway." The door clicked shut behind her. For weeks after, I kept replaying that night. Her laughter, her text, her face in the dawn. I tried to hate her, but hate required too much energy. What I felt was emptier, like standing in a burned house, recognizing the walls but not the home. Then one day, a message appeared on my phone. "I'm sorry. For everything." No name. Just a number I already knew by heart. I stared at it, then deleted it without replying. Because sometimes forgiveness isn't about letting someone back in. It's about finally locking the door and realizing you deserve the quiet that follows.